This lesson is how to multiply and divide with 6. Let's start by answering this question. What comes in groups of 6? Think about when you go to the grocery store, when you look around your house, you look around school, you look around nature. Can you think of anything that is always a group of 6? I thought of these two things. I thought that a 6-pack of pop that has these plastic tops on them, and I thought about an insect that has 6 legs. I'm sure you may have thought of a few more things. But let's get started by circling our count bys. So that means we circle a group of 6 and then we label it 6. Then let's circle a second group of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I have 2 groups of 6, and so 2 groups of 6, if I count 6, 12. I want you to stop the video and continue to circle groups of 6. If you go all the way to 60, that'd be awesome, but of course if you want to challenge yourself and keep going, you may. Start the video when you are finished circling all of the count bys, and then you've also written them down the side. Remember how we write from 6 all the way to 60? All right. If you're not sure about that, start the video and you'll see an example of all of the numbers listed. All right, so stop the video now. Press play when you're ready to move on. All right, look over the groups of 6 that you counted, that you circled, and did you label them correctly? Stop the video and fix anything if you need to fix it. All right, let's start with our smallest count by, our 6 right here, and let's count by 6s. 6, oh, excuse me here, let me get my pen. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. Okay, those are our count by 6 count bys. Now, let's write our multiplication equations. If I have 6, that equals one group of 6. And I know that because I look down here and I see my 6 is one group of 6. If I have 12, I look down here, I find 12, and I see it takes 2 groups of 6 to get 12, so I have 2 groups of 6. Would you stop the video and would you write the multiplication equation for each count by? Press play when you're ready to check your work. All right, how did you do? Look it over carefully. Fix any things that you need to fix. Now let's write our division equations. Now when we're dividing, we always start with the total. And so 6 divided by 6, because that's our count by today, equals, and of course we look over here, and when we have 6, we just have one group. So 6 divided by 6 equals 1. Again, let's start with our total. 12 divided by 6, our groups of 6 equals, here we have 12, and we see 2 groups. So 12 divided by 6 equals 2. Again, stop the video. Continue to write the division equations for groups of 6. Press play when you're ready to check your work. All right, carefully look over the division equations and see if they match on your whiteboard. If you need to make any changes, stop the video and do that right now. All right, we're going to try one thing that is different that we haven't done before when we've been learning multiplication and division facts. We are going to make a function machine. So what I'd like you to do on your whiteboard in the remaining space, make a big T like this, and on one side put an n, and on the other side put n times 6. This is called a function machine. I'll do my best to write it down here. A function machine. A function machine is we put a number into an equation and we can change that number. We'll do the same process, the same multiplication process, but we'll get a different number out. For example, if we put a 1 into our function machine, it changes this equation to 1 times 6 equals 6. And so the only number we actually have to put over here is a 6, because if we put a 1 in, it becomes 1 times 6 equals 6. So if we put a 2 in, the 2 takes the place of the n, and we have 2 times 6, and that equals 12. And again, what we put in the function table is just the number 12, because it tells us that n is 2, then 2 times 6 is 12. Let's do one more, and then I'm going to let you try it by yourself. So 3. So then it's 3 times 6 equals 18. And of course, in our function machine, we would just put an 18. Why don't you go and see how far you can get by putting numbers into this function machine? If you're not sure how to do this, let your teacher know, and she or he will take you through this lesson at a later time. Press play when you want to check some of your work. All right, so I was able to go all the way to 7 in my function machine, and when I do 7 times 6, I got 42. You may have gone farther than that. I just ran out of room on my whiteboard. All right, nice job. Continue to practice multiplication and divide by 6. In fact, I'm going to leave these numbers up on the screen, and I want you to solve them on your whiteboard.